Okay, now I'm with Joe Little, who I know through his role as head of innovation at BP and with previous connections with the Serious Games Institute. Joe has had a lot of involvement in virtual worlds and is quite an expert on that subject. I know that he's been using it with BP for some of their onboarding and various amounts of training. So I'm going to ask Joe now to tell us a little bit about his career and his jobs and what he's doing now and how he's getting on with coronavirus. So, Joe, where did it all start? Where did your career start?
Well, I'm actually, my career started 32 years ago, actually no, 33 years ago, in the aerospace, British aerospace and space and communications, like a lot of people really interested in space and getting into a career there, which didn't last very long. But I moved over to BP and had a very traditional IT career there until about 14 years ago, when I moved into emerging technology, a team that was allowed to get out of the office, go and research what technologies are out there, and then come back and educate the executives and senior level leaders on what the next big thing was going to be. And that's where we met, David. So one of the first activities I had was to explore the games industry and virtual worlds and look at the possibilities of using those environments to collaborate, to train, and to orientate and bring people into something, a virtual version of the world that we were working in.
Yeah, I seem to remember you talking about, was it induction or was it with graduate recruitment? You were using Second Life in that environment?
Well, we dabbled in 19 virtual worlds, I think, overall. We had the space to do that. Second Life was certainly one of the platforms we used. We created environments to orientate staff, so taking them through virtual oil rigs, virtual refineries, virtual shipping vessels. I think the biggest thing we did was a graduate induction program, which we would put all of our graduates through normally a physical event over the course of a week, and they would get to hear from all the executives and senior level leaders on where the company was going, really use that as a shopping mall, as it were, for where their career should go next, and to build up the relationships with each other. We moved that into a virtual world event over 4 weeks. We made it interesting by creating a competition, which meant they really had to intensely listen to the executives. And in the course of the 4 weeks, we actually got 90 more executives coming in than normal who were really excited about being a part of something new and brand new, and engaging with the graduates that way. So that was kind of the blueprint for, I think, around 52 different events we did in virtual worlds over the years, largely trying to replace real world events with something in the virtual where travel was either impossible or certainly more expensive to doing it virtually. And we learned tons in that. And I think the most important thing is that it's not always great to be face to face. Being virtual can actually have some surprising outcomes as well.
Yeah, I think I would draw the same conclusion myself. So now you are retired, but not living a life of leisure. I understand. I saw that you got a recent appointment. So what's that all about? On an advisory board, was it?
So I'm advising a number of companies, again, sort of largely in the immersive space. Digital twins are a technology which a lot of you are hearing about in the press, and there's a lot of misconception as to what that is, but effectively it is running your business virtually and having the full context of what the physical environment is on your desktop, no matter where you are in the world. That is a very, very powerful concept. It means that people don't have to travel, particularly to unsafe and risky environments, and that you can actually build in a bigger brain to your activities as well. So in an industry like oil and gas and several other industries, you know, the knowledge and the expertise is diminishing. So getting access to that around the world is getting harder. So these environments make that possible. So that's one area. But I'm also, very keen on where all these technologies move in the future. So I've gone and got myself certified with the Institute for the Future to try and help educate people on how these technologies are evolving and where the possibilities are within various different industries.
That's fantastic. I've not heard of the Institute of the Future. That sounds really quite exciting. Yeah, and you're a good person to be involved in that, because I know that you've been pushing back the boundaries of technology constantly. Well, this webinar that we're running on Thursday at 2 o'clock is on the future of out-of-home entertainment in the aftermath of COVID-19. I know that you might say that you've not been directly involved in the entertainment industry, but I would be remiss in not mentioning the fact that you're a bit of a musician, or you're a musical buff.
Well, I am, yeah. I guess I'm KRS registered, so I can count as a musician now. If I turn my webcam to my left, you'd see a stack of synthesizers there, and to the right, a bunch of mixing desks and guitars. So yes, I do write and record. I've been doing that for a number of years now, entirely for fun and my own pleasure. But I do stay very, very close to the music industry, and I see more and more opportunities cropping up now to use technology to create new possibilities for musicians out there. We are in interesting times right now. I mean, not only coronavirus, but the impact of climate change, and obviously Brexit as well, which is affecting musicians moving in and around borders from the UK as well. These are all really significant stiflers to the music industry, particularly musicians trying to make a living these days. But technology in itself can create new possibilities in this world, and I think there are great opportunities out there to explore using technology to help musicians get closer to their audience, to find new channels for income in that world as well. So it's both, I say, a strange time where opportunities are lessening to travel and to be out there and performing, but great things are actually opening up to try and enable a wider audience and greater revenue possibilities.
Yeah, and I'm sure that you'll be able to interact well with Martin Ware, because I know that you know him, and we're both connected to Martin through Facebook. So he will be on the panel, and you can have an interesting discussion along with Kevin Williams, who brings a different dimension. So thanks for him.
I was going to see Martin last Friday. He was doing London last Friday, and I was really looking forward to it. Two of my favourite albums ever. He was going to perform there, but he's postponed as a result of COVID-19. So yeah, I'd love to reconnect with him and find out what his plans are going forward to redo that.